The city of Johannesburg says it will be relocating residents of Kwa Mai Mai after a fire ravaged through the informal settlement overnight. At least one person was killed in the blaze and another injured, with residents trying to salvage as much as they can from the debris. Gift of the Givers was also on the scene to provide some assistance. Ahmed Kajee is Newzroom Afrika's reporter who is standing by. Ahmed, we heard from the mayor of Johannesburg, Dr. Mpho Phalatse. She has attributed this to illegal connections.
Yes, indeed. This came out of her oversight inspection earlier today. She had come through around 12:30 this afternoon, carried through an entire oversight inspection in and around the Kwa Mai Mai informal settlement, engaged with a few residents here as well, and then addressed the media as well. I think a big part to just paint a picture as to what the illegal connectivity and the illegal connections actually look like. Just over to my left-hand side, you will see an informal settlement coming through over there, and there is a bridge just behind the shot over there, which is more or less merging onto the M2 westbound as well. And from this particular area, then more or less would be these illegal connections which come all the way across over the highway bridge and then down into the township, into the illegal and informal settlement as well. And that's exactly the reason as to what these illegal particular connections are being attributed to, and the reason the fire is actually started. At least that's what the initial and intermediate reports are being coming through from emergency services as well. In terms of when the fire started, we do know that it started overnight between 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. That's the reports coming out of residents over here as well. But the first thing that Dr. Mpho Phalatse also mentioned is that residents will be relocated to a shelter. Let's just take a listen to what she had to say.
The arrangements by social development and disaster management are immediate, and community development as well. It is the housing department that needs to get the site ready where shacks will be erected for the affected individuals. That's not going to happen today. They need 72 hours to a week. In the meantime, they will be housed in a community development facility nearby, and they will be provided food and mattresses and whatever else they need through our partners that work with disaster management and social development. Because of illegal connections, we've had yet another tragic fire that's claimed one life. There has been a fatality. The person has not yet been identified. Apparently they were burned beyond recognition. There's also been one injury of a female that's been taken to hospital, and unfortunately one of our EMS officials from the fire brigade was also injured, and they've been rushed to hospital as well. What we've seen is it looks like there could be about 350 shacks that were affected. Of course, we're still verifying the information. We are busy through disaster management and social development doing an assessment and registering all affected individuals so that we can provide the necessary relief. We've got on site the Joburg Property Company, who are the custodians of all parcels of land in the city, and this is city-owned land, so the JPC are the custodians.
Dr. Mpho Phalatse just giving an update as to the extent of the damage and the fact that there will be relocation for the residents over here. But an important thing to mention to do is we had pressed the mayor and the MMC for housing, Humlungisi Mabaso, for details as to where these residents will be taken, and they hadn't given us a specific venue or a specific location as to where they will be placed. The residents over here still have no particular concrete idea as to where they will be placed as well. I'm just going to take a quick pan over here to my left-hand side, and you will see some people getting their items collected. Officials are still dealing with the people as well, and overall you will see people trying to connect as much as possible. And as I will pan over to the left of your picture as well, there is some government officials just doing getting some data and collecting data around which people are in this particular area. We had heard Mayor Mpho Phalatse saying that at least estimated that 350 shacks have been affected in this particular area, and if one had to just average four individuals per shack, you're looking in excess of 1,000 people that were affected. Those numbers will obviously be confirmed by the housing department and various other departments within the city of Johannesburg and the Gauteng provincial government as well. Other news also coming out of the city of Johannesburg. Dr. Mpho Phalatse says this Kwa Mai Mai informal settlement, which is center point of the center of Johannesburg in many ways is going to be closed down, and everything is going to be demolished, and they will be restructuring it as well. As to the reaction from the community, some have said that, you know, they welcome the move. Others have actually opposed it, saying that, you know, the government should just leave them in this particular area. They'll start out their lives and, you know, rebuild from whatever they can, and, you know, as they're trying to salvage, which is mostly the corrugated iron, as they try to rebuild their lives. But in terms of where they will be spending the night, which more or less sunset will be at about 5:30 this evening in Johannesburg, come 6 o'clock, once nightfall comes along, it's still unclear where these people will be living, or spending the night at least, with a shelter over their head and perhaps having a warm meal as well to do.
Ahmed Kajee, thank you very much for that update.